and all the changes that will be coming with that. So we're going to keep you updated and posted, but there is a lot coming. So we're excited you guys are here. And just today, what we're going to do is a little focus on one of our core values, which is something I'm trying to start incorporating into these all staff meetings. This one is community asset. Newtrax really wants to be a community asset. And what does that mean? We want to be able to be there to collaboratively bridge transportation gaps for our community. And what does that look like? It looks like helping our partners, looks like helping school districts, helping other organizations like churches be able to get their people from place to place, helping with those pop-ups. You remember the hockey event, the Minnesota hockey event, and being able to provide transportation for those special events that happen. We just don't want these valuable assets to just sit in our parking lot. We want them to be able to help where there's needs. We still do food. I don't know how many of you know that we still do food distribution. So it's all of those things that we want to provide for our community. We want to be a valuable asset to them. So that is a little bit about our core value of community asset. Speaking of that, we are a community asset, and one of the ways we've done that is congratulations to the team, but we won Best of, again, for being the best large employer in our area, voted by you all in our community. So congratulations. And for those of you who might be new, this is our third year in a row winning this award. So kudos to you all to making this a wonderful place to work. Did you want to say anything about that, Mike?
Oh, great job, thank you.
All right, and we just want to let you know, one of our changes in staffing is to introduce Ed Quall. Are you here? Quall? Yes, hello! Ed is another part-time driver for us. Thank you so much for being here today. We do have some anniversaries this month. We actually have quite a few here in October. So we have 3 people who are completing their very first year, and this is Elizabeth Schmidt. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Scott Ecker. Paul Hagberg. In the back here. Congratulations on your milestone anniversaries. I have certificates and pins for you, and I will get those to you very shortly here. And then we have Michael Opitz, and that's 2 years. That's Michael. And then Kevin Simon, 2 years. Scott Featherstone, 2 years. Cameron Johnson, 3 years. Bruce Cardigan, 4 years. Storm from our mechanic shop, 8 years. And Sue is also 8 years. And Anne, is she here this morning? Oh, there she is. Yep, 9 years. Congratulations to you all for your anniversaries, and thank you again for your service and being here. We really appreciate you. All right, I'm going to actually turn this over to, could actually somebody grab my flash off the grill for me? That would be excellent. While we're actually waiting for him for a moment, how am I thinking? Oh, I think he's coming around the corner right now. Perfect timing, Mike. I'm going to turn it over to Mike for building and parking lot updates.
Wait, can I just say something?
Yep.
No.
Hi, everybody. Of course, Annie's done, so we don't know how to get a sign-up sheet. So I'm just passing this around. If you guys can just write your name on here, so you can get credit for being at the meeting.
Can we log in?
Do you know where that's got
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out later.
Just put
That
your
works
name
good.
on here. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Good. So this will be a quick brief. I know you guys have all seen that construction over there in our parking lot, and I appreciate everybody's flexibility with parking as we work with our neighbors and continue on. Some good improvements. Obviously, the break room has been one of them. Getting close to finishing that up. We've got that extra cabinets and countertop. We all seen your guys' game room got destroyed back here last week. So good riddance to the little building. It's actually usable now. They just put some blacktop on it, but next year, once they finish their renovations there, that new building will be getting our parking lot done in front and the back, and new parking lot lights, so we can say goodbye to those ones in the middle and obstacles. So that's a positive. As far as some more interior building renovations, we're gonna move on to some more phases with that. Some bathroom upgrades in both sides here, some new fixtures, some cleaning, some regrouting, possibly some more painting. And then as far as in our office, some work on the carpeting and some things like that. So appreciate you guys' patience through that. I know the parking lot's getting rough back here, and there's some areas where it's washed out, but knowing what we have on the horizon, it's not worth the money to put a bunch of money in there to fix all that. They did some patching on the real deep stuff that we gotta drive over, but I know some of the areas are getting a little thin, but again, a new parking lot is on its way with some new striping and numbering, and so that'll be good. Just a quick hit to 7 new buses are getting inspected today, so those will be added to the fleet shortly. So for some of you guys that have some older buses on the fixed routes, look to see those be getting replaced by new buses in the next coming weeks. Any questions on building, maintenance, buses, anything?
Do we have the numbers to be like on a rope or something so they're not under the snow when it snows?
That's a good,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's a good suggestion. The only problem that you have is in those middle spaces where there's nowhere because you pull through. So it might work on the edges, but we'd have to put it pretty far back so that it doesn't get wiped out when they push the snow there. So there's challenges to all that, but it's a good idea. We can brainstorm as a group to see if there's a better way to do that when when the snow does come. One of the benefits will be when we do get a new parking lot, when it's all fresh blacktop and not uneven. When they plow, they can drop the blade all the way down and get a good sunny day, and that should pretty much dry it up. It'll be a lot better than what we're dealing with now. So, good question. Anybody else? All right, thank you guys.
And he's grilling for us today, so thank you very much. All right, now we're going to move into a dispatch minute. I'm going to be bringing you some of the reminders, and our very own dispatcher, Kevin, will finish it up for us. One, just some reminders, the keys and tablets need to stay on site when taking a break after morning routes. Books need to be brought in after morning routes and every night. So making sure you guys are bringing your route books in. Log into your routes and do your radio checks before leaving base. If there are any issues, dispatch can help you before you leave. When doing your electronic DVIs, please remember to select the bus number that you are driving, because it's really important, because you can end up logging into somebody else's bus. It could be all wrong information. It can really mess up reporting. So please make sure you pick your correct bus number. If you are unsure, please ask dispatch. All right, Kevin, you ready to take over for me?
Sure. Thank you. I just want to mention a couple of quick reminders again with the sub-drivers. When using buses, please straighten them back, straighten them out by putting the seats up and the pucks away. I still see them out there when I'm taking the sub-buses. There's pucks laying around, seats are up. If you could do that, it would really help the next driver in using that sub-bus. Also, when using the route buses, if you could just leave the bus the way you found it, leave the dashboard alone. Mark, I know I switched the radio stations on your bus, but only Mark's bus. No, but could you just leave that, put the pucks away too on the route buses so they're not. I think you like the station. So remember that when you're doing the route buses, they would appreciate that instead of just messing up the dashboard and pulling stuff out of the bus, that kind of thing. So we appreciate that. It's starting to get cold, so please make sure you gas up the buses and fill them up. Especially at half, when they're at half, just make sure you fill them up and bring the tablets in too. It's going to be getting cold, so we can't leave them in the bus. So we'd appreciate that. And regular drivers and community drivers, if they are running more than 10 minutes late, you must call us and let us know. If you hit something and you need to call us as well, any incidents, big or small, you must call us and let us know. So we do appreciate if you're running late, just let us know and we'll call the houses, call ahead for you. And on behalf of dispatch, we're really grateful for you guys checking in, check calls and parking clear. So we appreciate all that. So thank you guys for all you do.
Thank you very much. All right, well, it is time to tell you about something that we have completed a year of. We have completed a year of employee check-ins. So what that means is all of you around your anniversary were invited to come see myself, Trevor, or Angie, and it was your chance to review Newtrax and tell us, how do you feel like we're doing? How do you feel like your supervisor's doing? Is there any organizational updates you feel like we need to make? Any problems, issues, concerns that haven't been addressed? It's been a great year. I speak for myself. I think Angie and Trevor, it's been a delight to be able to have this one-on-one time with you guys to talk about what you feel like is going well and maybe not going well. It's been really appreciated. We really value your opinions. We value that time. And so now it's time to tell you, because if you remember, for those who participated, that what we were doing is anonymously placing it into a Excel spreadsheet, and then quarterly, I was taking a look at that spreadsheet to say where are the places we're doing well, where are places that we're not doing well, and I would present that to the administration team and what kind of improvements or things do we need to do based on the results of this. So I did that quarterly, and then the goal is once the year was complete and everybody had a chance to do their employee check-in, then we would do the overall year results and see what would happen there. So I have that for you, and so I was just gonna give you guys just a little quick synopsis of that. I will have these, what I did, especially for the things that were very positive, I made a word art, and I will kind of leave these out so you guys can see them. I feel like even for most of you can see, one of the biggest things that was said is we are a very flexible organization, and that's one thing that really came across. I did try to do this also word picture for the suggestions, but it was not nearly as pretty. So just because there was a lot of sentences, it was like sentences, so it was just harder to see. So I will leave this out, or maybe I'll even hang one up in the break room so you guys can see that. So some of the really positive feedback that came out of these employee check-ins was best company to work for, lots of good changes happening over the last few years, supportive, flexible, really like the employee check-ins, fun place to work, open communication, feel trusted, respected, feel like I make a difference, I'm happy here, I like and enjoy my job, management is accessible, feel fortunate to have the job, great and wonderful, can't speak highly enough about Newtrax, feel like it's a well-run company. So that is some of the positive stuff, and then some of the things, the themes, remember this is themes, it's not each individual person, so some of the themes that came out for suggestions were, this mostly came from sub-drivers, but the suggestion is for full-time drivers to keep info up to date. So it's a great reminder for full-time drivers that if you have seating chart changes or updates in your riders, so please make those notes, update your bus books, all of those things are really helpful for your sub-drivers. More time to train, more ride-alongs, one-on-one training opportunities, consistency about filling out vehicle deficiency reports, tightening up on policies and procedures and training, and there's other things like concerns like client behaviors and what about spots to pull into at commerce, and dispatchers calling houses. So what we've done with some of these feedback and suggestions is some things that have already happened, thanks to your feedback, is there's now a handrail up from where Trevor and the mechanics upstairs. There's now a handrail up to the second floor on both sides, so that it's more of a safe ascent and descent from upstairs. There is now also a follow-up process for vehicle deficiency reports. If you're not aware of what those updates are, feel free to ask the admin team. We now have gluten-free options for lunch. That was from your suggestions. dispatchers an opportunity to speak at drivers' meetings, and today was a great example of that. So those were feedback that we got from you all that we already have taken action on. There are some others that are in the works, and once we have those fully complete and rolled out, we will make sure to let you know that they were based on your feedback. So any questions about this? Awesome. Again, thank you, because we can continue to be an even better company with your feedback and your suggestions, because you all help us get new creative ideas and help us think outside the box and see things that we can't see.
Will you be continuing this?
Yes, great question. The question was, will we be continuing this? And the answer is yes. We've already started the next year of inviting people to come to the employee check-ins. We have added to our team this year, instead of just being Trevor, Angie, and myself, we're also adding me and Scott. So one of the 5 of us will be reaching out to you around your anniversary. There are certain times like November when we have like 20 anniversaries that we will be spreading it out a little bit throughout the year, so it might be not exactly around your anniversary. That was a great question. Yes, we are continuing this year because we feel like they're very valuable, and I hope that they feel valuable to you as well. Any other questions about that? All right, so let's move on to our next thing here. I'm just going to mention some upcoming events that the company is doing. One is based on one of our core values is customer service. We are going to be starting to roll out a new customer service training. So you will be seeing that on your schedule and when to work, so be looking forward to that. The admin team has already gone through the training, and then the dispatchers will be going next, and then the rest of the team will follow shortly after that. And Bob Borcham is going to be leading that customer service training for us based on his background. He has a lot of training and skills in that area, and we're very excited for him to be able to present that to you all. So be looking for that on your schedules. Also, a couple of save the dates. We have our holiday party is coming December 5th. So December 5th is a Friday. We will look forward to seeing you all there. We also have our small group lunches. Our small group lunch is coming up November 11th. So November 11th, if you guys want to mark that on your calendars, we'll be having small group lunch. Of course, we'll do the posters for that, and the sign-up sheets will be posted. We'll keep letting you know about that. I just want to go ahead and give you a heads up. Now we're going to be moving into our benefits portion of our meeting. One of the first things, I did put this in the communication last week, but wanted to also make sure I tell you in this meeting, and if there's any questions, please come and see me. With the Minnesota paid leave, a number of that does change a lot of things for us, and I'm going to explain it very deeply next month. It is constantly changing with the state, so I don't want to give you too much information before they change everything. But it also means that it affects FMLA, which is Family Medical Leave Act. It affects that as well. And so these leaves need to run concurrently, which means it means at the same time. And so we are moving our FMLA benefit year. Used to be by event, so like if you had an event in October where you needed to take leave, it would be October through the end of September. But now with all the changes, it's going to be January 1st through December 31st. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. If you have questions about it, it is going to be easier to track for you and for me, just knowing everything starts January 1st and goes through December 31st. It's kind of like also that will be going with your medical benefits. So all of that's going to line up together pretty nicely. Any questions about that so far? Okay, great. Great. All right, and then we are also just want to remind you, how many of you, I would love to raise hands here, how many of you are aware that we have a fitness reimbursement plan here at Newtrax? Okay, like half of the hands. All right, so this is why we try to yearly let you guys know about some of the benefits that we have. This has been a pilot program. We just started this. We know that sometimes it's hard to find the time or the money or the energy to work out or get healthy or do things to take steps towards our health. And we want to be able to help you with that. So Newtrax provides $15 per month that you can put towards like a health and wellness, either membership or something like yoga or some people do rhythmic drumming. There's a lot of different things that could be counted for that's for your health and moving you in that direction. So something like Planet Fitness, they do actually have a $15 per month membership that this was completely paid for. So just it's all you have to do is I have a piece of paper and you put your name on it and where your membership is, and then quarterly we give you a reimbursement for $15 a month to help you pay for that membership. If you have any additional questions, please see myself or Angie. We're the ones who run that program, so we'd love for you to get started on that. And if you're already paying for a gym membership, this would be a great benefit to you. So please do come and let us know, and we're happy to get you started on that. So, any questions about that one? Great. Well, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Nick. Let's make sure he's
Yeah,
all right, Nick is, again, our representative from Principal in Retirement Investments, and can tell us more about our 403B plan. And he's also, I would highly recommend, if you have any questions later, to ask him after, but also to set up an appointment with him. He's excellent. I enjoy it. I've had many conversations with him trying to figure out what we're going to do and plan for the future, so I appreciate that. Here you go, everyone. Nick.
Are we live? Okay, mine next. All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Too bad we didn't have a Vikings win to celebrate as well. Hey, the Gophers won though Friday night. We'll take that. Well, thank you for the warm introduction. My name is Nick Halverson, and I'm with Principal Financial Group. I just celebrated my 25th year with the company, and I'm happy to be here to talk to Newtrax today about the 403B retirement plan. I believe I've been working with Newtrax since the get-go. Mike, how many years does that go? 14 years, okay. So when Newtrax first started, we did a startup retirement plan, and here we are 14 years later. Today what I'm going to be doing is giving an overview of the retirement plan space. I'm going to talk about how you all can utilize the plan to help yourself, okay? I'm going to talk a little bit more about accessing your account values and things that you can do throughout the year if you need service, because we're here to help. And then we're going to talk about some financial planning 101 concepts that some of you might be interested in talking about today. So let's first start out and talk about the 403B/401k space. You guys have a 403B, but how much money can an individual actually defer of their own income? Does anybody have a guess? If you're under the age of 50, how much can you defer? Anybody brave enough on a Monday? I'll make it easy. $23,500. Okay, that is a lot of money. And so let's talk about how you can defer. This is it if you're under 50. You can pick to defer pre-tax. So that's when you put the money in, and you're not going to be taxed on it. It'll grow tax deferred. And then in retirement, when you choose to take the money out later, at that point, as you take it out, it'll be taxed. Okay? The plan also has what's called a Roth provision. Okay? The Roth provision allows you to put money in post-tax. So if anybody in here is under the age of 40, and not that it can't be used if you're over 40, but especially if you're under 40, the Roth provision is something that you should really look at. It doesn't feel good now. When you put money in, you do not get a tax deduction now. However, that money continues to grow tax deferred, and then when you pull it out during retirement after age 59 and a half is when you'd be eligible. Those distributions come up tax free. Okay? So, can you mix and match? Yes. Don't let age be a thing. I know I said younger folks, you should really just consider doing the Roth provision, but you can mix and match. If you said, I'm going to put 6% of my pay in, whatever that might be, you can have 3% go pre-tax and 3% go to the Roth post-tax. And so you can have a blend. All right? Now, if you're over the age of 50, the IRS allows you to contribute even more funds. There is a $7,500 catch-up provision, okay? So the total that you put away would be $31,000. Next year, these limits are set to go up a little bit, okay? And again, I know that's a lot of money, but if you feel like you're behind in your retirement savings, that could be an opportunity for you to even put more dollars away for your retirement and catch up, okay? So let's talk about the match. You guys have access right now to a per pay period match. It's currently at $40 per pay period, okay? So just a reminder, the match dollars always are pre-tax. I talked about pre-tax and Roth. You don't get to pick with the match dollars, those always go pre-tax. But if you're not contributing, if you have aspirations to try to start building your retirement and you're not contributing, what a great motivator that you have instant match dollars there available to you to take advantage of, all right? Let's talk about investment options real quickly. So in the world that I live in every day, we want to make sure that a plan like Newtrax has full investment coverage across all of the different asset allocation spectrum. Okay, so large cap, mid cap, small cap, international, real estate, and then fixed income. But within that, we also have an asset allocation strategy, and it's where we help do the asset allocation for you, and they're called target date retirement funds. And I'm happy to say that through education and just you all being good with selecting investment options, that this plan heavily utilizes the target date retirement funds. You're busy working, you're busy raising your family, you're busy doing the things you do throughout the course of the day, and you're just picking approximately the date that you're going to retire and lining that up with the target date retirement fund, and we handle the management for you, okay? So I feel like I don't have to tell this group this whole story about it, but I'm going to make sure to do it every year. But you guys do a wonderful job utilizing those funds. But there's plenty of other options available if you want to do some self-design with the portfolio as well. Okay, let's talk about accessing the plan. So there's two ways to access it electronically. One would be through principal.com, our website. And so I'd encourage you all, if you're in the plan, please go in, establish your username and password. You can do that if you're on a laptop, computer, or desktop. You can also use our mobile app. Okay, so whether you have an Android or an Apple, you can go to the App Store and just find Principal, spelled with a P-A-L, and you can download our app. You'll set up your new username and password, and you can access your account information from there as well. Now, let's talk about support. You can always call our 1-800 number. We have representatives available from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. But before you call the 1-800 number, please reach out to my local office. I have business cards up here for those of you that might want to grab one at some point. My office number is on there, my email is on there as well. We are glad to help you right here locally, okay? So I know I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, and I get phone calls throughout the course of the year. Sometimes the phone calls are about the 403B. A lot of times it starts with that. But what I'm going to move into next is life outside of the 403B. So because you guys have access to the principal plan here at Newtrax, you guys also have access to me. And I've been a financial advisor for the last 25 years. And you can always call and run by other things that you're dealing with financially with me, and I'm happy to help, okay? So all of you should have received in your hand a piece that says getting your financial house in order, okay? I love this piece because for somebody who's not an expert at financial planning, it really puts it in priority order what one should be thinking about when getting their own personal financial house in order. So how do you build a house? Well, you got to build it from the bottom up. You can't build the roof first and then start working on the walls going down and then finally put the basement in. That's not how it works. So when you're getting your financial house in order, what you want to first take a look at, if you take a look at this, and by the way, we're not going through the whole thing today, just so you know. But you'll see the first layer is disability income protection. I always like to talk about this one when when I'm having conversations with folks and I ask them, what's your biggest asset that you have? A lot of times they'll say, oh, I think it's my house, or I think it might be my 403B, or it might be this brokerage account that I have. And then I usually correct them and say, actually, you're wrong. If you're 40 years old and you make $50,000 a year and you're planning on working until 60, it's actually your future wages. If something happened to you and you became disabled, think about the 20 years of future wages that are in jeopardy because of that. Okay? That's one example of the financial planning talk that I'll bring you through in this financial planning house. You'll see the next layer, it continues with other protection concepts. Health insurance, life insurance. Okay? These are things that people need to be thinking about. How about property and casualty insurance, like auto insurance coverage, or your homeowner's coverage, or maybe having a liability umbrella policy. Then you'll move up and it says future planning. So this tends to be the fun category, planning for retirement, child education savings programs, things like that. That's usually what gets people excited, but you want to make sure that down below that you have a strong foundation built, so that if something happens, all that hard work, saving money for retirement, or for child education savings, doesn't just evaporate with the click of a finger because we didn't have adequate coverages. And then you'll see the roof of the house is legacy planning. So I'm not going to make you guys raise your hands on this, but I want everybody to think about in this room, because I know there's some folks out here guilty of not getting this done or needing an update, but how many of you have your will done? How many of you have healthcare directives done, or a financial power of attorney? Or how many of you have had it on your list for a long time and you need to get that done, you need to get that done? I'm not an attorney, and so I can't do that work for you, but I certainly will help educate you around the process, and then you can go to your local attorney, or if you need references here locally, I'm happy to provide those, but it's another really important area of someone's overall financial plan. So I'm happy to help you guys with that. You don't have to be afraid. You're not going to get charged an hourly rate fee or a flat rate fee for that. The advice that I'm giving on that level, that's outside of the plan. It's not part of the 403B plan, but I'm happy to take those phone calls and help you guys get on the right path. All right? Okay, that's what I had for you today. Do you have any questions that would be appropriate for a group setting? Because if it's more individualized, I'd rather take those afterwards, one-on-one, because I'm going to stick around.
Did you say free of charge?
Yes, so, yeah, and I'll clarify, if you end up utilizing services, whether we're helping you with other investments or other insurance programs, obviously there's a cost to that, but you're not going to get a bill for calling me and having discussions about your particular situation. I want you guys to do that. It's good. Other questions? All right, great. Well, I'm going to stick around after. If there's any other questions, you can come find me. Thank you.
So before I let Nick step away, before I do that, good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend. Now, I've worked with Nick for probably close to 20 years now, and I really encourage you to take advantage of those phone calls. He does a terrific job of breaking things down in a way that are easily understandable. So if you do have those questions or some just general support, I encourage you to talk to him. And I also want to encourage you all, like Nick said, there's a $40 per paycheck match. I'm someone that really believes whatever amount you can plan for retirement, I encourage you to do that. And $40 per paycheck, that's $1,000 a year. And I know $40 means a lot to us every 2 weeks and what we can do with that $40. But if you just cut one thing back that allows you to put that $40 into your retirement and get that match, that's an extra $1,000 a year that Newtrax gives back to you guys. So really, really highly encourage you, if you're not currently do that, to put away at least that $40 to get that match from us. We'd love to see those numbers go up with the amount of people that participate in. So thank you for working with us and being part of our team for the last 14 years. And like Nick said, he'll stick around after we eat or while you're eating to answer any individualized questions that you might have.
Thank you, Nick. All right. All right, before we move on to our next thing, is there any questions about anything that I talked about, Kevin talked about, Mike or Nick talked about? Any questions or feedback, or just general, maybe even for Reedy? Any questions? No? Okay. One last announcement here. Scott and Trevor would like to meet with all the people who drive for communication. Communication, that was very challenging for me. But all the drivers who help out with that, please, before you eat, just take a moment to speak with Trevor and Scott. Any last minute questions? All right, well, Nick is going to be here to answer questions. Angie and I are around to answer questions about any of your other benefits or the reimbursement, the fitness reimbursement. Thank you guys so much for your time, and the beer will be pulling the food out in just a few minutes, and we'll get that started for you.
Please gather around Trevor for those drivers that need to meet for communication. He is by the south door. Please make sure that for attendance, everyone signs the attendance sheet. Find your name if you can't find it. So it will be out momentarily.